Hi guys, Lynn Shaw of Two Girls in a Book here with you. Just wanted to do a couple of quick reviews with you guys, let you know what I've been reading, and give you my recommendation list. So, without further ado, we have The Revenged Queen by Zachary Ryan. This is the second installment in the High School Queens trilogy, and it picks right up where the first book left off. As you may recall, if you're a fan of the series, book one, All the Secrets, came out at the prom, and in the follow up, All the Secrets come out at graduation. So evidently, the cliques and whatnot at the high school did not learn any lessons from their encounter at prom, because they certainly don't do any better of a job of keeping their secrets secret, and they are certainly far bigger and more titillating secrets in the follow up. The ending was fantastic and was a huge surprise. I didn't see that coming, and it's a big cliffhanger and left me salivating for book three. So, if you are a fan of like Gossip Girl and things like that, and you like some good juicy dirt, this is definitely a series for you. The Revenge Queen by Zachary Ryan. Now, as you may recall, I have spoken a lot lately about the fabulous Kelly Martin. I read book two, Dark and Devious Things, recently, and I am loving this series. I think there's 5 or 6 books in the entire series, and I'll be starting book three this weekend. If you are a fan of supernatural, ghost adventures, or the movie The Conjuring, this series kind of wraps all of those up into one book. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it if you like spooky books, thriller books, ghost stories, that kind of thing. Read it with the lights on and do not investigate anything that goes bump in the night. So, again, that's Kelly Martin, Dark and Devious Things. I also have been listening via audiobook to The Dollhouse Asylum by Mary Gray. This is the first book, or first audiobook, I should say, that I've had the pleasure of listening to, that was by Mary Gray. And I gotta say, she's one twisted individual. I really didn't expect that out of her. She's a new to me author. She's part of Monster Ivy Publishing, which I'm a huge fan of. I haven't gotten anything, a single book from them that wasn't fantastic. So I definitely recommend checking out Mary Gray as well as her publishing house, Monster Ivy Publishing. This particular book, The Dollhouse Asylum, is very twisted. It Oh wow, it's kind of hard to describe without giving you a bunch of spoilers. I highly recommend it. The audiobook, it took me a little time to get into it because the narrator didn't quite do it for me in the beginning. I grew to enjoy it more as it progressed. But aside from that, whether you do the audio or you get the book or the ebook, I highly recommend it because it is a fantastic book. Um, it has to do with a teacher named Mateo who kidnaps a group of students, as well as one in particular, Cheyenne, who he has a crush on. And he takes them to this community that he had specifically built for them. He tells them that the death rot has come back and that civilization as they know it is pretty much coming to an end, and that it may very well be possible that they're going to be the only ones left. And he's built them this little town, this little community of homes, and he kind of pairs them off into couples. And everything initially revolves around the number 7. There are 7 couples, and he changes everyone's name when they get there. He assigns everyone a name from a Shakespearean story like Romeo and Juliet. He calls himself Hades, and he changes the main character Cheyenne into his love interest Persephone. And he's a very twisted individual. he he makes challenges for the couples to go through, and he wants people to prove their loyalty, and to not prove your loyalty to him ends in death. So it's kind of a it's kind of a Hunger Games a little bit, but not exactly. I don't really know what to compare it to. All I can say is it's really twisted, and it's really hard for me to wrap my head around it. But the main character, Cheyenne, or Persephone as he calls her, she starts off as this naive, clueless teenage girl who's in love with her teacher, and by the end of the book, her entire perspective of that relationship has changed, and she's grown so much, and she's so much wiser for having gone through this horrific experience. But it's a fantastic book. Again, it's Mary Gray, The Dollhouse Asylum. And lastly, it's been a while since I read this one, but I recently ran into the author and was able to get a signed copy, so I want to share that with you. It's by Seven Jane, and it's called The Isle of Gold. If you like pirate tales, this is kind of a retelling of that. It has to do with an orphan who sets sail on a pirate ship, and she disguises herself as a man. She's trying to find out about her origins and where she comes from. A lot of reviewers, myself included, have said that it has a little bit of a Pirates of the Caribbean feel to it. And but it's not a Disney movie. It's beautifully, beautifully written. I mean, I felt like I was right there on the ship with the characters. And it's a fantastic story of love and attempting to find oneself. And again, that's The Isle of Gold, and it's by Seven Jane, and she's part of Black Spot Publishing. If you guys are not heard of them before, make sure you check them out on Facebook, as well as Seven Jane. It's a fantastic read, and either later this year or the first of next year, the sequel to that book will be coming out as well, so that is something to look forward to also. So those are my current reads and what I recommend for you guys to check out. And if you are currently following me on Facebook, then you know that I have Fangirl Thursdays on Thursdays. And this week I will be interviewing E.M. Rinaldi. I'm very excited to talk to her about the Cross Chronicles. It's a trilogy as well, and it recently the last book was published in that installment. So I'm anxious to talk to her and find out what else that she has coming out, and to get some more information about that fantastic series. So make sure you check that out on Thursdays on Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks!